Once upon a time, in a modest hut near the edge of the sea, lived a poor fisherman and his wife. The fisherman was a gentle soul, kind-hearted and simple, who found joy in the rhythm of the waves and the quiet patience of casting his net into the sea. His wife, however, was of a different sort. Though once content, she had grown bitter over the years, resenting their poverty and dreaming of grandeur and wealth beyond reason. Every morning the fisherman would walk barefoot across the sand, carrying his net to the rocky shore, casting it into the deep blue water, and waiting, sometimes for hours. One cloudy afternoon, he felt an unusual tug, so strong it nearly pulled him into the sea. With effort, he hauled in his net and was astonished to see a magnificent fish gleaming like gold, its scales catching the light like 1,000 tiny suns. To his amazement, the fish spoke. "Please, kind fisherman, let me go. I am not an ordinary fish. I am an enchanted prince. Spare my life, and I shall not forget your kindness." The fisherman, shocked yet full of compassion, quickly returned the fish to the sea without asking for anything in return. He walked home, his heart light and at peace. But when he told his wife about the talking fish and how he had set it free, her eyes widened with greed. "And you asked for nothing?" she cried. "You fool! You could have asked him to grant us a wish. Go back at once. Tell him I want a better house. This hut is disgraceful." The fisherman hesitated, uneasy with the idea, but he loved his wife and returned to the sea. The sky had turned gray, and the waves stirred restlessly. Standing at the edge of the water, he called out, "Flounder, flounder in the sea. Come, I beg you, hear my plea. My wife, she wants, not I, you see, a better house beside the sea." The golden fish swam to the surface and replied, "Go home. She has it." To the fisherman's astonishment, the wretched hut was gone, replaced by a neat little cottage with windows, a chimney, and a tidy garden. His wife was pleased, for a while, but it was not long before she grew dissatisfied again. "The cottage is too small. Go back and ask the fish for a grand stone mansion," she demanded. Though reluctant, the fisherman went back. The sea was now choppier, the sky darker. Again he called, "Flounder, flounder in the sea. Come, I beg you, hear my plea. My wife, she wants, not I, you see, a stone-built mansion by the sea." The fish reappeared. "Go home, she has it." The fisherman returned to find a grand mansion with towers, carved staircases, and rich tapestries. His wife now dressed in silk and gold. Servants tended to her every need. She was overjoyed for a moment. The days passed, and she threw lavish feasts in the great hall, inviting nobles and strangers to marvel at their sudden fortune. Yet even surrounded by gold and glory, she was restless. Her eyes turned toward power, yet the grandeur only stoked her hunger for more. "I want to be queen," she said. "Go ask the fish." The fisherman trembled. "Queen?" he asked. "That's too much." She snapped. "Go! If he could grant a house, he can grant a crown." The sea roared louder now, the sky swirling with clouds. The fisherman hesitated before calling, "Flounder, flounder in the sea. Come, I beg. You hear my plea? My wife, she wants, not I, you see, to be a queen and reign with glee." The fish replied, "Go home, she is queen." The fisherman returned to see guards, banners, and a throne. His wife now wore a crown, ruling from a castle with hundreds of servants. Her word was law, and her gaze was sharp. But still her hunger for more grew. She ruled with a cold heart, no longer sharing laughter with her husband. She scorned the fisherman for his humble ways, keeping him at arm's length while she reveled in flattery and riches. Days passed. One morning she told him, "Go back. I want to be empress." He protested. "What more could you want?" She insisted. "I want all the kingdoms of the world to bow before me." The fisherman went back, his heart heavy. The waves crashed violently. Now winds howled, and the sea was dark as night. "Flounder, flounder in the sea. Come, I beg you, hear my plea. My wife she wants, not I, you see, to be an empress, full of glee." "Go home," the fish said. "She is empress." She ruled over lands and oceans, commanded armies and gold. But it still was not enough. She summoned him again. "Now I want to be like God. I want to command the sun and the moon and the stars." The fisherman's face went pale. "That is madness." But she screamed, "Do as I say." Tears in his eyes, he walked to the shore. The sea was black, the winds howled like wolves, and lightning split the sky. "Flounder, flounder in the sea. Come, I beg you, hear my plea. My wife, she wants, not I, you see, to be like God, above all, free." There was silence. Then the fish replied, "Go home." When the fisherman returned, he found the grand castle gone. No golden walls, no servants, no riches. Only the old broken hut stood there, just as before. And there, in ragged clothes, sat his wife, silent, stunned, and humbled. From that day forward, the fisherman continued to fish. He still spoke, kindly still cast his net each morning. His wife, once proud and greedy, learned to live with what they had, finding peace not in riches, but in quiet days and simple love. She learned to cook again, to mend clothes, to tend to a garden they grew together. And in time, her bitterness softened. She smiled at her husband when he returned from fishing and listened to the wind without complaint. The tale of the golden fish became a lesson passed down by fishermen and their children. It was told by lantern light on stormy nights, reminding all who listened of the danger of endless desire and the quiet beauty in a humble heart. The sea, too, seemed to remember. It never again offered up a golden fish, but it gave the fisherman fish enough to live and days enough to love, and for that he was always grateful, and the golden fish was never seen again.